Welcome to the Late Night Show with Jordan and Caleb.
Welcome, guys. Alright, tonight we're going to be talking about the health issue, alcohol.
It is a major factor in the world these days, with people younger and younger drinking, going out, partying, and every social event you go to, there's alcohol. Footy, sport, cricket, movies, wherever you go, Jordan.
That's right, Caleb. Alright, so firstly tonight we're going to look at an introduction to alcohol. Alright, for starters, alcohol is an illicit drug. Its consumption is sanctioned by cultural norms and social practices, and its production contributes significantly to Australia's gross national product.
Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. Its psychoactive properties contribute to changes in the mood, cognition and behaviour. The main psychoactive ingredient in beverage alcohol is ethyl alcohol, or ethanol. Now, Jordan, we've all felt the short-term effects of alcohol, and as you can see, we've all had the slurred speech before, drowsiness, vomiting or upset stomach after a big night, headaches, distorted vision and hearing, impaired judgment, decreased perspective and coordination, unconsciousness. You can even go into a coma and have blackouts.
Along with short-term effects of drinking alcohol, there are long-term effects, especially to alcohol abuse. Here are 11 health risks of long-term heavy drinking. Just to name a few: cancers, cardiovascular disease, depression, high blood pressure, and nerve damage. Many of us drink alcohol, Caleb, without actually knowing how it's absorbed into the body. Alcohol is absorbed into your body through the stomach and small intestine. Food slows down the rate of absorption. That's why alcohol affects you more quickly on an empty stomach. Alcohol then flows through the bloodstream, throughout the body, reaching your heart, brain, muscles, and other tissues.
Well, Jordan, let's talk about the role of the liver now. A person's body can't store alcohol, so it has to be broken down, which is mainly done by a person's liver. This is done with a complex metabolic process. The liver firstly changes alcohol into acetylide, a toxic substance. The acetylide is converted by the liver into acetate, a harmless substance, which is then turned into carbon dioxide and water. So this simply means, Jordan, that your liver turns alcohol into water. About 90 to 95% of alcohol consumed is metabolized by the liver, meaning turned into water. The remaining 5 to 10% is exited through urine, breath, or sweat. A person's ability to process alcohol depends on different things, Jordan, like your age, your weight, or your sex. The body breaks down alcohol at a rate of roughly 1 standard drink per hour. Right, Jordan, I've done some research in the largest alcohol companies around the globe. Below are the world's largest alcohol beverage companies, ordered by total sales, both domestic and international, in 2016. Anheuser-Busch InBev is the largest alcohol company in the world, making profits of $43.6 billion. The company is based in Belgium. Heineken Holdings is the next largest company in the world, and that is based in the Netherlands, making a profit of $22.8 billion last year. And SAB Miller was the third, making $20.8 billion, and they're based in the United Kingdom.
Now, Caleb, when we look at alcohol, a major problem with it is the cost it has on the Australian society. Just when you look at healthcare costs of alcohol abuse, alcohol consumption is a risk factor in 25 chronic diseases and conditions entirely attributable to alcohol. Alcohol plays a significant role in certain cancers, psychiatric conditions, and numerous cardiovascular digestive diseases. Additionally, alcohol consumption can impact diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. A new study has put the annual cost of excessive alcohol consumption in Australia at $36 billion a year, along with a massive human toll. This comprises of $24.7 billion in tangible costs, which include out-of-pocket expenses, foregone wages, or loss of productivity, and hospital and childcare protection costs. There are further $11.6 billion in tangible costs, which include a loss of quality of life from someone else's drinking.
That's right, Jordan. And we will be right back after this short ad break.
Welcome back, guys. Alright, for our next topic, we'll be talking about the impact alcohol has on the world.
Epidemiology of alcohol by the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization has been collecting data on alcohol consumption and alcohol control policies from its members since 1996. The current survey instrument, entitled Global Survey on Alcohol and Health, includes 3 sections: alcohol policy, alcohol consumption and surveillance. So Jordan, what that basically means is that the World Health Organization has been collecting data and surveys for how to improve the knowledge of alcohol and alcohol consumption around the world. These stats can be found on the World Health Organization website.
Following on from the global surveys, the World Health Organization have been looking to improve people's lives that have been affected by alcohol abuse. In the Sustainable Development Goals that were for 2030 were adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in September 2015. Goal 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. Target 3.5 is strengthen the prevention and treatment of substance abuse, including narcotic drug abuse and harmful use of alcohol. So Caleb, I jumped on the World Health Organization website and here were some global health consequences. The one that struck me the most was in 2012 that about 3.3 million deaths, or 5.9% of all global deaths, were attributed to alcohol consumption.
Well, there you go, Jordan. That's a significant number there. One thing that really stood out to me was that alcohol consumption causes death and disability relatively early in life. In the age group between 20 and 39 years of age, approximately 25% of total deaths are alcohol attributable, which that's outstanding.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even looking at this one, the harmful use of alcohol is a causal factor in more than 200 disease and injury conditions. That's just crazy. Also on the World Health Organization page, Caleb, I found this global figure for alcohol-attributed fractions for selected causes of death, disease, and injury. When looking at the graph, it has the all global percentage of deaths and all global percentage of dailies attributed and not attributed to alcohol. For example, all global deaths for self-harm were 22% attributed to alcohol, a pretty high figure there. We also see drownings, 13% of all global deaths were attributed to alcohol, and the list goes on.
Following on from your graph, Jordan, I come up with this pie chart of distribution of alcohol-related deaths as a percentage of alcohol-related deaths by broad disease in 2012. The net total of this pie chart was 3.3 million deaths. And what really stood out to me was that 17.1% and 8.7% of the deaths, nearly a total of a quarter of the deaths, was either unintentional injuries or intentional injuries. And this is quite shocking. You can also see on the pie chart here that 33.4% was from cardiovascular disease or diabetes. That's a massive chunk. Now we're going to talk about alcohol around the world. The highest consumption levels continue to be found in the developed world, in particular the European region and the region of the Americas. Intermediate levels of consumption are found in the Western Pacific region and the African region, while the lowest consumption levels of alcohol is found in Southeast Asia region, and particularly in the World Health Organization Eastern Mediterranean region. In general, the greater the economic wealth of the country, the more alcohol is consumed, and the poorer the country is, the less of alcohol that is consumed. More differences in the levels of total consumption between regions of the world and between countries are the result of complex interactions between the wide range of factors. These include socio-demographics factors, prevalence rates of abstention, level of economic development, culture, such as predominance of Islam, religion, and preferred beverage types.
Righto, Caleb. Now here's a map of world total alcohol per capita consumption in litres of pure alcohol. Firstly, I want to show you this graph. As you said before, that developed countries tend to drink more alcohol. And we see here Russia, the black, that is greater than 12.5 in per litres of pure alcohol. We also see Australia down here, and Europe over here, and Canada over here. Much more developed countries compared to your Africa, but all of them much higher in the litres of pure alcohol per capita. Alright, for our next segment, we're going to look at alcohol-related injuries, Caleb. We've all been there with the unintentional stub toe related injury that way, haven't we?
Falling off a fence.
Falling off a fence, that's right. When looking at unintentional injuries, we see that 90% of hypothermia injuries are alcohol-related. We also see that 49.2% of drownings are also alcohol-related. Just huge numbers there, Caleb. 37.9% of burns and fire injuries, alcohol-related. We probably know someone that's had a burn while they're on the they're drinking alcohol.
One or two people.
That's right. Alright.
Right, Jordan. Well, I looked at alcohol-related injuries, but intentional injuries this time. So, along with unintentional injuries, alcohol plays a significant role in intentional injuries as a result of aggression or violence.
We've all seen them people.
Yep. Alcohol has been linked to physical violence by a variety of research studies, although science may not yet understand how alcohol contributes to a violent behaviour.
Yeah, right.
Over the years, the percentages have changed from one study to another, but these are the estimated percentages of alcohol involvement in the following intentional fatalities due to violence. 57% of stabbings are intentional intentional stabbings are alcohol related.
57%.
Sure are, Jordan. That's huge. 50% of drownings, intentional drownings, where someone has drowned another person, have been alcohol related. 47.1% of all homicides or murders have been alcohol related. 40.7% of beatings, 38.9% of gunshots, 36.4% of intentional burning someone, and 29.7% of suffocations all have alcohol in their blood at the time of the crime.
That's crazy, Caleb. Following on from these violent behaviours, also looked at another study, and it's alcohol-fueled violence between alcohol and child abuse. And I found this article that Professor Ian Webster wrote, and the most disturbing thing that he found was the apparent link. Ian Webster said about 30% of child harm is from either a parent or a guardian because the person's been drinking. This is crazy, isn't it, Caleb?
Unbelievable. Poor kids these days.
Yeah. Alright, Caleb. We've been getting a lot of people text in and ask, what are our personal interpretations on alcohol as a health issue?
Well, Jordan, I've had to think about this, and the global health issue of alcohol consumption is an issue that have many different outcomes, but always stems back to the same thing: alcohol. Alcohol abuse and alcoholism, we all know, has the neurological diseases with symptoms such as memory loss, seizures, blackouts, headaches, migraines, dehydration, even death. You know, all the stuff like liver diseases, cancers, blood disease, all the stuff we've spoken about, all the physical illnesses and harms. Personally, though, my theory on alcohol abuse is it's more of a social and community health issue, as the actual disease and physical harm takes years and years of abuse to finally show symptoms.
Yeah.
Whether the short-term alcohol abuse can lead to a range of social and emotional issues, alcohol abuse within the family home can lead to domestic violence, child abuse, self-harm, and these issues all have a snowball effect that can stem into the wider community. If someone has a spouse or a parent that is abusing alcohol and they get violent, aggressive, bring self-harm upon themselves, it can not only make the family members start to feel anxious and depressed or even scared, it brings the family into it more. If there's a violent partner and the wife's pregnant and he belts her when he's drunk, the kid can come out of the womb with anxiety and depression before it's even born.
Yeah.
For me, alcohol-fueled violence doesn't just contain itself to the home. You see more and more pubs and nightclubs. The coward punch and pub brawls are most commonly caused due to excessive alcohol consumption.
Yeah, that's right. And
this stuff's all over the news and the TV. So this is something that I personally think has a big impact on mental and social health than what the physical health of the disease can affect, due to the fact that a lot of physical effects, as we've said, takes years to build up. Where alcohol-fueled violence can happen in a split second, one idiot's wrong thinking or critical error and engages in a coward punch or a pub brawl can cause serious injury and change lives in an instant.
That's right, okay. So pretty much what you're trying to say is alcohol in small doses is fine, but it's when people abuse alcohol.
And it's not the actual physical health effects, it's the effects on someone's body makes them do misjudged things to cause social and mental well-being. Alcohol-fueled violence doesn't just happen at home. More and more you hear the alcohol-fueled violence has been rushed out into our streets. An alcohol-fueled coward punch can cause serious injury or even death to the person on the receiving end. This can cause a lot of mental stress, not only for the person that threw the coward punch when they finally wake up and come to grips with what's actually happened, but also their family, their friends, and the family and friends of the person who received the coward punch or was in the violent attack. Once again, this all stems back to alcohol-fueled violence, which stems back to alcohol abuse in itself. And that's why I personally think more needs to be done to stem the wave of alcohol abuse and alcohol-fueled violence. This makes it a social and community health issue a lot stronger around the globe and not just on a physical health issue.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you said there, Caleb. One thing I think we do have to look at, which you didn't really touch on much there, or you kind of did, but I think there is a lot of diseases still coming from alcohol, but maybe what you're saying is not purely from alcohol. There's other lifestyle changes that they've done throughout their life
Could be
made to improve it. Because you and me both know that we're no angels and have never drank before. Alright guys, that's all from us tonight. Thanks for watching.